All right, we wrapped up our very first virtual event, the Smarter Content Formula, and I wanted to treat you all to a little behind the scenes of what we were expecting, things that went well, things that didn't go well, and just kind of share some of our experience in that, especially as we are wrapping up to get ready for another event in January. So join me. So we just wrapped up the Smarter Content Formula. We're actually planning on doing 3 of these events a year, but this is our very first one. So it was a really awesome learning experience. And I wanted to share with you guys some of the things that went really well and some of the things that were like, good learning experience, right? So one of the things that we started off with right off the bat was we wanted this whole entire program to be able to turn into a product that we can actually end up selling as an evergreen thing, so it can continue going and we can continue getting leverage and exposure with all of the speakers that we had. So we had 11 other amazing speakers, 12 including myself. And I pre-recorded all of the sessions and we had some of them come on live to live events during the actual event. So I'll get into all of that stuff in a little bit. Well, one of the things we've tried to do before the event was get all of the sessions recorded. And then I wanted to repurpose a lot of what the lessons were from each of our amazing speakers and include those things into our box. Now, not quite enough foresight planning, because truth be told, here we were still recording some of the final sessions even the week before the event, which means we did not have enough time to get all of those amazing things put into our boxes. Now, we did still come out with some amazing boxes. So for those of you watching on the video, I actually have one of our boxes right here. And it's pretty cool, Smarter Content Formula. And inside of our box, we have welcome letter, pretty standard, very cool. We have headphones, which are really awesome. And the entire theme of this event was meant to be all about racing, right? And so the feel of this box is we kind of wanted to put you as if you were on pit lane at a race. And one of the things that they have are these really awesome earphones that are not like the little earbud things, but big over the earphones to block out other noise so that you can concentrate on what's going on. We felt like that was really relevant and a lot of fun. Now, these earphones are branded. They are Bluetooth. They are over the ear. Let's see if I can get, there we go. So they are really, really cool. You can choose to make them corded or non-corded. And I just really dig them. So those were a really fun thing that we put in. We also wanted to have engagement cards and things like that. And these cards, I wanted them to be not the kind of like standard, isn't it funny that there's standard engagement popsicle stick things now with emojis, but those are the standards are these little cute circle emojis. And I loved that, but again, race themed. So we wanted these to be race themed. So I turned our emoji sticks into what are little flags, right? Like race flags. So we have the love emoji, the like emoji, and the go emoji. And these are all fun. I wanted them to be like, if you can tell, they're kind of, they're like little instrument gauges that you would have in your car. And then they're all just like different colored with the different emoji inside. So those were really, really fun. We also had a good little goodie bag here that has a couple of stickers inside. So we have hashtag I'm smarter, which is pretty awesome. And we have the Smarter Content Formula. And then we also included, actually I have one unwrapped right here. These are little Formula Done race cars, because everybody needs a race car at their desk to play with, right? So that's what we played with. We also, I want I wanted each of these events to really be like a commemorative type thing. So like if you end up attending all three, becoming part of the all access behind the scenes of all three, you can collect all of the badges. So the badges that we created are really cool. These are actually metal, and they're actually like etched metal. So they're etched all the way through. They have smarter content formula. They have the storytelling track badge right on here. They have the date of when the actual event happened, and then yeah, it's like etched through. They're really cool and pretty awesome metal. Then we have some really fun. These are artist notebooks, and really like what we did in here is completely unbranded inside and just super thick paper so that you can get out your crayons, your markers, your anything, and just really get inventive and dig in to draw anything. No lines, anything, just literally have fun with an artist notebook. And then we also finally have the workbook that goes along with all of the sessions. And in here we have notes for each speaker. And then if you're going to turn this into a workbook on how to get the best out of each speaker and all of the things that were taught. So the boxes themselves came out really amazing. We did not get everything done on the boxes in time, and then we ended up having shipping problems with everything that happened with COVID. So between our fulfillment house and some shipping snafus, like the metal plaques did not show up until a week late. Getting the cards together, those were a little bit late. The, what else did we have? The workbooks themselves were a couple days late. So what happened is we had half of our items down at the fulfillment house, but we couldn't send out the boxes because they weren't all ready. So everybody who ended up buying an all access pass got all of these amazing things like the day after the event ended. So that was cool and yet not cool, because the people that bought it for the actual event could not use the amazing resources during the actual event. However, we did come out with some really cool things that anybody that buys this product going forward is going to get. And we're going to modify like the welcome letter, and we're actually going to get some other repurposed information in from each of the speakers. So there'll be even more in the boxes for the product, but that is what we were working on. So it kind of worked, but it didn't, because they didn't get out in time. So that was a good learning experience, is for the next event, like literally we want to have everything done. I want to say months in advance, but we're already months in advance of the event. So we've reset our timetable because realizing just how much time it takes to get those things done, and then to allow for shipping and fulfillment house and all of those things. So that was a good learning experience. But it was really fun to pull these boxes together and do like just get really creative about all the things that go inside. So that was a lot of fun, actually. We just didn't quite make it on time to get those across the finish line the way that they should be. So some other things that we learned. So we started promotion of the event 3 weeks before. And we were really hoping to capture a lot of attention. Now, I think we actually started planning for this event before pandemic hit, right? So we already knew this was in the works, and I think the normal rules of online events are kind of all changing. So in this new world, everybody's doing a virtual event because it's the only kind you can do, right? So when we set out to say we want to do this, really, because we're pivoting our business. So we're no longer doing boutique agency services. We want to focus on niche services and say, this is exactly how we can help you. It's all around content. We can build an SEO optimized content site. We can help you with all of your content repurposing. We can help you craft the right messaging. So all of this is about. So I wanted to bring in experts that were going to help support all of that. So I got amazing experts That part was fantastic. Leveraging other people's expertise to help boost our awareness and authority, all of that helped. However, we ended up with about 10% of, well, maybe about 15% of the registrations that we were ultimately hoping for. And so that was disappointing. But then looking at all of the other online events that are happening, the virtual events out there, there's a lot. And I hear from speaking with other people who are putting these on that everybody's having a difficult time as well getting registrants, because that's the thing now. So the biggest currency that everybody's sitting at home, all of our prospects sitting at home has, is time. And if we're like, hey, I want you to take a large portion of that time and devote it to me, that's actually becoming a really pretty high currency. And so one of the things that we did is we really, like, we put this event together because we wanted it to be, it's not, as my friend Mark says, it's not the thing, it's the thing to the thing. So it's really, it was all about list building and awareness and authority and stuff for us as a brand. So it wasn't necessarily to make a pitch, but a lot of events are about making a pitch. And so there was a lot of that question about like, well, are you going to pitch me? Well, we also did free event because we were hoping to just build our list. We wanted to attract as many people as possible, right? Well, people who pay attention. And so one of the things that we realized is by offering this as a free event, that we were not getting people's attention, like an engagement as the event went on, especially for the live portions. We only had about 5% of our registrations. The people who registered actually attended. That's much less than we were actually expecting that we would be somewhere in the 20-30% attendance range. So that was a really interesting thing to learn. And so I know for our next event, we will actually be putting a price tag on it in order to try to garner some more engagement and interest, because I think in this world, the way that the way everybody's paying attention now, it's the things that we're actually paying for, right, that we need to spend more time on. So that is one of the other things that we learned, and in going forward, that we need to ask for a little bit more attention. Another thing that we did realize, and this one I'm still trying to figure out, so interested in any offers or suggestions that any of you guys have, but we invited, so we have 12 amazing speakers, and it was fantastic. We released everything out over 3 days. So each day we had 4 presentations drop, plus we did a live workshop and a live speaker panel to bring live attention. So the live workshop was about an hour and the speaker panel was about an hour. So that's 2 hours right there. Each of the sessions that dropped were on average maybe 40-45 minutes. So we were asking ultimately for about 5 hours of people's time each day. Had not thought of it in terms of the amount of time that we were asking for before the event. Afterwards, we're like, why did we not get the engagement? Well, it's because I think that's a large part of it, is that, you know, we dropped the sessions that day and then we held a workshop and a speaker panel. So nobody was able to get through all of the sessions because they had just come out, right? So for the next event that we're planning for January, we're already talking about, do we reduce the number of speakers? Do we reduce the time of the sessions? Do we drop the live workshops because we've got too much going on? Do we combine all of the speakers into one panel, so it's just one thing to look forward to after everybody's had a chance to consume all of the other material? But really wanting to be much more cognizant of respecting people's time. That's one of the big things that we ended up talking about here in sort of our post-op, is like, okay, what could we have done better? And how could we better serve people? So that's one of the things that we're working towards for the January event, right? So big things that we have learned. Number 1, we're going to make people pay at least a nominal fee to be able to participate. Number 2, we are going to reduce the amount of time commitment that is required in order to be able to get something out of this. And And I think big number 3 is that we as a team are actually starting everything much earlier, because just all of the logistics of coordinating everything and bringing it all together, right? And then finally, the other big thing that we learned was, as many, like, we had reminders with Facebook Messenger and text messaging and email and in the Facebook group and everything all combined. And even with all of those messaging, it still was confusing for people as to where they need to go. So we decided that the next time will probably end up being like a pop-up Facebook group. So there's literally one place to go to. That's the only thing they have to remember. All of the presentations will show up in there. Any live support, any of that kind of stuff will all show up in one place, because we're not, as people are, glancing through messages, they were not necessarily seeing, okay, here's the Zoom room I need to be in, or here's the broadcast that I'm going to go follow. So it was really good to figure out, like, keep it simple, simple, and start earlier, and then ask for less, ask for less of people's time. And then just with that, asking people to actually pay attention. So those are some really great things that we learned. Overall, this was phenomenal. I learned a lot. It also forced us to kind of tighten up some of our messaging and the way that we're working on things. So just going through the exercise itself really helped us to develop like our voice, in addition to being surrounded and elevated by the voice of some of our other speakers. And it was really awesome to be like, yeah, I'm going to aim high and try to get these really amazing people. And they said yes. And then they showed up on live calls. And it was a really fun, exciting experience. My entire team had a great time. Everybody dug in. And then we all took several days off and crashed afterwards, because it was also a lot of work, right? But we are already working on the lineup for the January event. And I'm super excited about it. We'll be getting revised information into the boxes. So if you did miss this one, you can go get it. All of the recordings plus all of the extras that we're developing to go into the boxes will be really awesome. All you have to do is go to smartercontentformula.com and you can check out how it is that you can get copies of all of the presentations and this amazing box after the fact, right? But I really just wanted to share with you guys that, like, some things really worked awesome and some really didn't. So it was kind of a post-op of here's what our expectations were and now how we're adjusting. So our very first virtual event under our belt, and now we are off to the races with the second one. So we will see you on the finish line. Go get in on the Smarter Content Formula if you want, because there's seriously some amazing gold in there. And I think it's definitely going to help with crafting stories and figuring out how to monetize those stories, essentially. And watch for information on the event coming in January, which is going to be all about traffic. So we will see you guys on the inside. Thanks for hanging.